Alright, hello everyone. So basically, I'm just going to go through all of Spacelocked and just explain how I learned each part and got consistent at them. But before I do that, I'm just going to talk about the level overall and just like what it helps with and how fun it is. The level is fun. It really is very fun. I did enjoy playing it, although I did get a little bit frustrated, but that's mainly because I knew I could beat the level and it was just I was getting stupid deaths. But that aside, the whole level itself is pretty fun. There is a couple of parts that aren't so great and can cause bugs, but it's not the end of the world. It is still a pretty fun level. And it really helps out with teaching you how to learn duels and doing duels, along with stuff like wave spam, ships, I guess, and other things. So if we head to the first cube here, this is really easy stuff. Like, everything up until the drop is just kind of memorize it. Literally all I did was just started from 0 and just kind of practiced mode, and eventually I just learned the part. It's really not that hard. It's just memory, basically. You might die to it, like, every now and then, but it's still not that hard. Alright, so next up, there's 2 portals, but when you actually are viewing the level, which I'll just do here real quick to help out, all you see are these. The lines here. So these are the portals, and this yellow orb looks like you could hit it here, and you can, but you don't. So it's just a matter of getting your brain around hitting these 2 portals first, which doesn't take long. Now we head into the drop. The first part of the drop, you just kind of have to drop down. It's not too hard. You drop and then go up. Hold on, I'm just lagging right now. So you just go down, up, and then you fly through there. This does take a little bit of practice here, but it's not too bad. Then we go into this wave. The hardest part about this is just going from here and then holding a little bit out of this portal. It does take a little bit to get your brain around it, but if you just play it a little bit, it doesn't take too long. Then this part is just a ship. However, when you're hitting this portal, you want to go up a little bit, but not too high that when you click out of the UFO, you hit here. It does take a little bit of getting used to. This UFO can cause problems if you don't know what you're doing. Originally, I would just spam, but that didn't work as consistent as I wanted. So eventually, I figured out you just click out of the portal once, click the pink orb, click, I think it was 6 times here, and then just click once out of this portal. I'll just show you it real quick here. Whoops. Alright, so this is really laggy, but I'll just show it in the level. So you just go into the portal once. Sorry. So the start position's a little bit too low. But as you can see, you just click 6 times, then click once when you hit the blue portal. I know it was kind of inconsistent there, but that's just because of where the start position was at. The main thing that's difficult about that UFO is the laser that comes out right here. It's pretty hard to avoid. You have to click very early and make sure you're up high enough. Then, once again, this is just memory. You jump a little bit early here to avoid the laser. Here, I don't even jump up here. I just collect the coin because it's easier. Which reminds me of the coin earlier on before the drop. Just click the first 2 green orbs and you should be good. Next up is just this wave. It's a little bit awkward to get into. You get used to it pretty quick. It's just wave spam, and make sure you're facing down when you go in. You don't want to go up into this portal and then end up over here. You want to make sure you land on this platform. These open up with the green orbs. You just make sure it's only the first 2. Might take a little bit of getting used to. I know for me, I kept thinking there was a green orb in here, and because of that, I'd click too early and die. But once you learn that, you just click those orbs. Make sure you don't click too early, because sometimes you can hit here. This ball takes a little bit of getting used to. You gotta click here later than you think. Then it's just kind of easy. This wave here, you need to make sure you click as soon as you get into it. It's a little bit easier of a transition when you do that. So I'm just gonna show what I mean here real quick. So you just go in, you click to go in, and you, hold on. I didn't warm up, so you just kind of, like that. Then we get into the hard part of the level. 45 and on. So we hit the duel part of the level. You enter. This duel here is extremely easy. You just click at the yellow orb. It's one click, you're good. You enter the ship. This part, you don't want to hit the portal too low or too high. Now here, I think you need to click around here. You gotta click early enough so that the laser doesn't hit you, but you don't want to click too early that you do hit the edges here. After that, you want to click again. And now the main thing is make sure you watch the ship and make sure you're spamming. Avoid this portal or this pad at all costs. It's very annoying to hit. Then when you hit here, just keep an eye on the ship. Then when you get to this portal, right here, whoops, you want to watch the wave. You want to wait a little bit here. You don't want to go up too early or else it'll cause the cube down here to miss the orb. So you go up and then you hold here. You either can let go right before the portal or right after the portal. Just make sure you don't hold too long or too little. Then you hold up into the wave spam and you just kind of get used to this. Then you go up and make sure you click before getting into this portal. You don't want to be too low because you'll end up as a UFO, which I've done before, and it can be a little bit awkward of a transition since it's wave to ship. To do this, I just kind of learned it and then played the shit out of it. You need to make sure you get consistent at this part. Especially, because this is harder than over here. Then, it's some pretty basic stuff. You just fly. This ship can be a little bit difficult though. Whoops. You want to fly up, and then you need to get used to when you have to drop. And when you drop, don't be afraid to drop too low. You need to make sure you don't hit the portal. Then it's just a mini wave spam, straight fly here. Well, not really straight fly, it's pretty easy, you just fly into the portal. This cube duel can be a little bit tricky. You need to make sure the top cube here is off this platform before you click. Hold into the blue orb, then let go. You need to make sure you hit that blue orb very early or you'll keep dying and you won't know why like I did. Then let go after the cube jumps here. You don't really need to pay attention, just hold a little bit after this orb. Click this orb early. Don't hold. After that, when you hit this pink pad here, hold, because it'll hit this orb and hit this orb. Don't try to click it. It makes it so much harder than it has to be. Then just click this orb here. After that, you've entered the final part of the level, and it gets quite a bit easier, especially after this UFO. You just wait a little bit, then click 2 times, click in each of these portals, and make sure you hit this orb. Then, don't click as soon as you hit this portal, but wait until you're around here. Then click in here and here. After that, you'll fly up. Make sure you don't click going into this. You want to make sure you drop below the laser before you start clicking. Then don't fly too high into this portal. You just kind of learn this part. You jump here, then you hit the orb, and then I think you also have to jump. No, you don't jump here. You just go through these saws into these 2 portals. Click here and just hold. Don't hold here, let go, and click these 2. You just learn it, and once you do, you probably won't die to it. I did once, but that was because I was tired. After that, you just kind of fly quite straight here. Make sure you don't click going into here. It takes a little bit to learn that for me, or at least it did for me, but make sure you don't. After that, you're in the final part of the level. It may look easy, but it is also very easy to die to if you don't know what you're doing. This first part here is pretty easy. When you hit this UFO, or this, not this UFO, this robot, hold. Don't be scared to. Don't hold up until you hit this portal, because then you'll click here and you'll hit these spikes. I did that. It's not fun. You want to make sure you hold high enough that you drop into this portal and click this orb early. Then when you go over to here, don't hold too early like I did. You want to make sure you wait a little bit. Then this part's pretty easy. Just hit here. Make sure you don't hit this spike. Avoid it at all costs. What I usually did is I clicked early so I'd hit this platform and avoid these spikes easily. And then I'd wait like just a couple frames and then hold. After that, you're good to go. So basically the main thing here is practice, practice, and practice. Once you learn this part, it's pretty easy. Up here, learn this part. Learn the click pattern to this UFO. Just learn here, memorize this, get this click pattern down, and then make sure you buffer here. Then once you get to here, play this part. Play this entire blue part over and over and over again. It'll take a little bit to get used to, and it will feel like you don't really get anywhere for a little bit, maybe. It did for me. But make sure you play it. After a bit, you will start to realize you get through it quite a lot. Like, I was getting through at least every, 2 out of 3 attempts, probably. Maybe more. This duel is a little bit trickier, but once you learn it, it's not too bad. And then after that, you're basically into the easy part of the level. And then, yeah, you just beat the level from there. Overall, Spacelocked's pretty fun, not too bad to learn, and it really helps with duels and makes you just feel more confident. At least it did for me. Anyway, yeah, that's about it. So, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.